Well, our benchmark price was down, our sales were down, and our new listings number was up for May here in Airdrie. We have quite a few numbers to go over this month, so let's dive right into the Airdrie real estate market update for June 2022. Hey there, my name is Brad Walker. I'm a realtor here in Airdrie with Real Broker, and I come to you every single month with these updates on our real estate right here in Airdrie. I'd love it if you could give this video a like, comment down below any questions that you might have about our market, about other things here in Airdrie, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future videos on Airdrie and Airdrie real estate. So what's going on with our market right now? If you're actively buying or selling within Airdrie right now, you may have felt that May was a little bit slower, a little bit calmer than the previous months this year. So let's dive into some of our numbers that we have at the end of May. Well, within the month of May, we had 269 listings sell, and this is a 16% decrease over April's sales and a 9% decrease year over year. And that's going to make it the first month that we've seen a year over year decrease in sales in about 2 years. So definitely something to note there. Then we had 319 new listings, and that is slightly lower than last month where we had 334 new listings, but slightly higher than last year in May when we saw 312, but only by a couple percent either way. So new listings are basically holding fairly steady right now with no notable changes at the moment. And those sales and new listings have left us with about 258 active listings at the end of May. So our inventory is held basically in the exact same range for about 3 months now, but with sales decreasing the last couple months, this has definitely bumped our monthly supply up slightly now to 0.96 months to start June. Now, though it's felt a little bit slower here in Airdrie the last couple months, 1 month of supply is still well within that technical seller's market that you hear about. Now, I give you air quotes there because technically when we're in a seller's market, we're supposed to see prices increasing. We didn't see that last month, but we are still within that seller's market, which should be between 0 and 2 months of supply, so we're well within that. A balanced market is more like 3 to 4 months of supply, and a buyer's market is going to be more like 5+ months of supply. And when we're in that seller's market territory, our prices, according to supply and demand, should be on the way up. Well, we didn't see that last month, and actually every way we have of tracking our prices, whether that be benchmark, average, or median prices, all went down a bit last month. So it's an interesting thing to see, and it's only a 1 month stat right now, so we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that to see if we stay within this seller's market territory, if we are going to see those prices increase or more hold steady where they're at, or even go down just a touch. But seeing that price decrease a little bit this year definitely does beg the question, are we headed towards that more of a balanced market where we're going to see more inventory come into the market? Or have we just kind of caught a bit of a breather before things start heading back up again, since we are in that seller's market territory? And no one really knows. I wish I had a crystal ball to be able to tell you, but only time is going to tell as we go into the summer months. Now, one factor for that pricing that everybody's talking about right now, because it's in the news so often, is our mortgage interest rates, which have been on the rise throughout the year, and they continue to be on the rise and likely will be on the rise for the rest of the year. But right now you're looking at a variable mortgage in the high 2% range, and that 5-year fixed mortgage you're looking at mid 4% range for that mortgage right now. So definitely quite a lot higher than we were earlier this year. But I think it's affecting our market here in Alberta a little bit less than it's affecting some other areas in the country. For example, you take a look at BC and Ontario, which a lot of our buyers here in Alberta and Airdrie have come from this year. They're seeing these interest rate hikes in an already unaffordable market that they're in, and that just makes it even more affordable. And what happens when it gets more affordable there? Well, they start looking at Alberta to purchase their real estate, whether they're moving here or investing here. It becomes a lot more intriguing, even with those higher interest rates, to put their money here in Alberta, where they can get a lot more home for the money that they have. So those markets are absolutely seeing a decline in sales and price reductions due to the interest rates. But around here in Alberta, I don't think we're going to see too much of that, because we have so many areas of the country that are less affordable than we are that will put their money here in Alberta real estate. Now, as interest rates keep going up throughout the year, we definitely could see it affect us more and more, as it's expected that interest rates are just going to keep going up throughout the year. We're going to have to play it out through the summer to see how that goes, but absolutely they're going to hit a point where they will definitely affect people's decisions to buy a home here in Airdrie. All right, well, you've heard me say a couple times now that our prices have decreased in the last month. Well, that's not exactly true for all styles of home here in Airdrie. So let's break it down by style of home and see which ones are performing and which ones are not performing this last month. So if we take a look at this, our detached homes are up 27.4% year over year, which is a little less than it was last month, but they are down about 1% from last month. So they saw a bit of a decline there. And our semi-detached as well, up 26.8% year over year, but also down about 1% from last month. Now this is where the tides turn a little bit. Townhomes are up 19% year over year, and they're also up 2.5% in the last month, and apartments are now up 23% year over year. That's a number that we would have never even dreamed of having for apartments just a year ago, and they're also up 2% since the last month. So from those numbers, you can see that we are still seeing that trend continue, where more and more people, instead of looking at that semi-detached and detached home, are moving more towards townhouses and apartments as a more affordable style of home, since our prices have gone up so much in the last year. Now, we still do have more inventory in terms of months of supply for apartments than any other style. Right now, sitting about 1.5 months of supply. But if you remember earlier, seller's market is below 2 months, so we are within that seller's market territory for those apartments, and it sure as heck beats the 8 months of supply that we had for apartments at the end of 2019. So these two sectors are definitely picking up, and we'll see that they probably continue to pick up if our prices do any more increasing in that detached and semi-detached market. Well, that's a look into our numbers for Airdrie real estate this month. Things are changing so fast in our market right now that it's really hard to pick up on some of these trends that are happening, but we're going to keep an eye on it throughout the summer. We'll be back next month with another market update. Now, if you want an emailed market update that we have for each specific neighborhood in Airdrie, this update is going to keep you up to date on the homes that are selling in your neighborhood, how much they sold for, when they sold, all of that information that you don't get on these videos. So if you'd like that market report for your neighborhood, there's a link down in the description. Click that, sign up for the report, let me know what neighborhoods you want it for, and we can get that sent off to you right away. And as always, if you do want to know what your home is currently worth in this market, whether you're selling or not, it's always a good idea to know how much your investment is currently worth. There's a link in the description for a free home evaluation. Fill out that form and we can definitely set up a time to get that evaluation done for you. Well, that about does it for our June 2022 Airdrie real estate market update. Again, my name is Brad Walker with Real Broker, and we'll talk to you later.